What's going on, you guys? Welcome on back to the channel. Now, as you know, as if you've been on this channel for a while, I love the Boruto series. Boruto is a series that has been near and dear to my heart since pretty much the beginning of it, like since the anime came out. Like Boruto really was like the first anime that I really got into watching. And like I got into Boruto before I even knew about like Crunchyroll and stuff. So, dog, I was watching episodes in parts on YouTube, like because I didn't know about like Crunchyroll and all that. Like, I guess I was just like not tapped in to anime like that back then, because like I wasn't even that young, but I just wasn't tapped into anime like that. So I was watching the anime in parts on YouTube. Like, that's how you know, bro. I was a fan of this shit. So, like, the main thing that I really wanted to talk about today is I want to talk about how Boruto was able to beat its most powerful enemy. And that enemy is the toxic fan base that surrounds it. All right. Boruto, since its inception, like, has been hated. Like, people have hated this series with a passion since it first came out, all the way back, I think, in like 2016, something like that. Ever since the beginning, people hated it because it wasn't Naruto. And like for years and years and years, everyone just hated on it for the exact same reasons. Like nobody could offer any nuance as to why they hated it. They were just like, oh, like it's not Naruto. Boruto's a spoiled brat, even though that was only one arc, bro, where he was actually acting like that. But they were they were just using that, I guess. I don't know why. That still baffles me to this day. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. When the anime finally caught up to the manga and started adapting the Kawaki arc, that was when the tides first began to shift. Because you had it a little bit in the Momoshiki arc, but then they had like anime canon for like a couple years, and then it kind of just they burnt up all their goodwill that they built up with that. So that was gone out the window at that point. Episode 65 is amazing. It's still the best thing the Naruto franchise has ever produced. But after that, you immediately followed it up with the Chocho arc, and then what are you doing? And then they had ammo for like the next couple of years. So there was really nothing we could do there. So the real point where everything began to shift was when we got to the Kawaki arc in the anime. And we got to see Kawaki and Garo adapted like beautifully. Like they had it looking like the manga. Like Kawaki and Garo, I don't think people realize just how important that fight truly is. Because if they stuck solely to the manga, that shit would have been ass. That's like what? Like a couple page fight, not even in the manga? It's really nothing crazy. But in the anime, they popped off. I couldn't believe what I was watching. They were adding all these like new original scenes to the fight that weren't even in the manga, like to just elevate it to a completely different level. Like what? Wait, I couldn't believe what I was watching at that point. Like Kawaki and Garo like elevated itself from like a C tier fight to like one of the best in the series just because of the adaptation and how they handled it. I was moved. Like, and I think like that was like the first time in a long time that the fan base was moved. Like and the toxic side of the fan base was even for a little bit like, yo, hold up, like this is actually kind of fire. And like you were able to see the two sides being able to come together for a little bit at that point. Like it was actually kind of beautiful when you think about it. So after Kawaki and Garo, we then proceed to adapt the rest of the Kawaki arc. And this was the happiest point I think I've ever seen. Like both sides of the Boruto fandom come together. Like we were getting such a great adaptation of all the material. Like more eyes were getting on the material because of the anime, and like people that reacted to this shit that reacted to this that called it shit or actually saying it's fire. Like I don't remember if Heavenly Controller was still around back at that point, But like Heavily Controller was one of the people that was like leading the charge of like, oh, Boruto shit. But like I don't remember if he reacted to this stuff, but I feel like his opinion probably would have shifted by now. So at this point, the toxic side of the Boruto community, sure, it was still there, but it wasn't as loud as as it had been for years at that point. Because like people that actually like the Boruto series, bro, we had to like fight back for so long, man. Like, but this was the first time where like it actually felt like we all actually liked this. Like it was actually nice. But then after they adapted the rest of the Kawaki material, we went back to anime canon. Now, this was the roughest time to be a fan of Boruto, man. This was so rough because we had quite possibly some of the worst stretches ever for the Boruto anime. I'm talking bad. Like we had the second tuning exams, which was okay at some points, but then it was primarily bad. Then we had oh my god, we had the wave arc, bro. Like that it was a good idea in concept, the wave arc, man, but how they executed it and especially how it dragged on near the end, it was just ass. And then, dude, oh my god, that wave arc had so many cringe moments, bro, or not even cringe moments. People have just like they've taken two shots from that arc, and they have like used it as ammo to hate on Boruto. Even still, man, and it doesn't get as much engagement as it used to. But bro, the Boruto crying face is the bane of my existence as somebody that likes Boruto. Because I can't lie, that shot is bad. But I'm pretty sure that the guy that did that, like he had like a really bad hand injury while he was doing that because this is when the Boruto production was like so fucked up at this point. Like the Boruto production was in shambles. Like this was before it imploded, and like I'm pretty sure this guy had like a major hand injury and he was still working on it. So like the fact that like that still gets clowned on to this day is kind of sad. And then, bro, that Boruto and Kawaki fight at the end of the wave arc, where I don't even want to get into it. Where like it's pretty much just like a PowerPoint presentation of them like running and like Naruto, Sarada, and Mitsuki like bunny hopping. If you know, you know. And that shit really hurt. That shit hurt me. But there was one good arc there. It was the Labyrinth arc. I really thought the Labyrinth arc was good because it actually expanded a little bit on Kara and introduced a completely new member. But that's neither here nor there now. I don't, I don't want to talk too much about the anime because while people were shitting on this, we were still getting peak in the manga, bro. People were ignoring like how good the manga was and actively focusing on the anime because, bro, we were getting such crazy shit in the manga that wasn't ever adapted into the anime yet. Sure, we got the end of the sure we got the code arc stuff, but like, bro, we were getting like omnipotence, bro. Omnipotence is like the best thing that has ever happened to Boruto. That was the moment where everything changed, bro. As soon as we got omnipotence introduced into the story, Boruto ascended into another plane of existence. It was such a good time to be a Boruto fan back then when the omnipotence chapter was coming out and everything after leading into Two Blue Vortex because it's like I was here. I was always a fan of Boruto, and I was actively getting to see people switch up on the series in real time. We actually got to see Boruto defeat the toxic fan base because so many people from the toxic fan base became fans of Boruto as a byproduct of omnipotence. Like, sure, there's still subsections of the community that still hate on Boruto, but I think we've largely beaten them because like it doesn't get as much engagement anymore. Like the hate posts don't really get engagement like they used to. So like we actively got to see the Boruto franchise beat its biggest enemy, which was the toxic fan base. And honestly, I think that's beautiful. And now Boruto is just even better. because like it's just gonna keep getting better. Two Blue Vortex has not had a bad chapter. It's just gonna keep getting better, bro. If you hate on Boruto, what are you doing? Like, it's not too late. Just hop on, bro. Like, it's peak. It's just gonna keep getting better and better and better. And I can't wait to see what happens next. Next chapter is probably gonna be even crazier. But I think that's gonna do it for me for today. This is primarily what I want to talk about. I want to give like a brief summary of the Boruto hate and like see where it changed. And I think I was able to do that. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think there was a different point where the Boruto hate kind of shifted? Or do you think it was primarily because of like stuff that was going on in the anime with the Kawaki arc and then like Omnipotence just like moved it to a different stratosphere? Let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'm going to talk to you guys next time. Bye.